I begin in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment. All praise belongs to Him, and all of us have to return to Him. The topic of our discussion today is let us empower ourselves. Welcome such a large number of bright and serious girls and boys. Greetings to fellow panelists. Greetings to the galaxy of serving officers and academicians. Girls and boys, the youth like you, to whom the stars are not out of bounds, are the ones I love indeed. This is the translation of Allama's couplet, मोहब्बत मुझे उन जवानों से है, सितारों पे जो डालते हैं कमंद. In other words, in a gentle way, you can shake the world. For that purpose, habitually, on daily basis in the morning for 15 minutes, let us read and understand our book, and surely with the help of commentaries. That way, let us imbibe the message of Allah given to us through the book, that is the Holy Quran. Children, given a choice as a strategy, select a career that benefits the society. Going deeper into this premise, let me imagine my 100th year of stay on Earth, when I would be leaving the planet. Let me look back and think, what all did I do in life, and what else I could have done? So, thus thinking in retrospect, let me now begin doing all that. Let me recapitulate what are my articles of faith. We all know that Kalma or Shahada is our umbilical cord. About the remaining 4 articles of faith, that is namaz or salah or prayer, zakat, the mandatory charity, roza, the mandatory 1-month-long fasting every year, and hajj, that is pilgrimage to the Grand Mosque in Makkah al-Mukarramah at least once in a lifetime, and that also for those who are in financial and health position to do that. The issue is that large number of us are under the impression that life ends at these articles of faith. But that's not the reality. Actually, life does not end there, and in fact it begins there. The divine purpose of creating humanity according to the Holy Quran is to test as to who amongst us is more righteous. And here righteousness, according to convergence of opinions of the commentators, means utilizing one's own God-given resources for the purpose of helping out the other human being for making his or her life more comfortable. Look at this sports court and this board. We can realize that the main purpose of games and sports is to develop and sharpen the physical and intellectual well-being. Yes, boundaries are marked and rules are made, but only to steer the game. The game is something else. The purpose of the game is something else, as I mentioned. Likewise, we have to sit back and think, what is the purpose of the basic pillars of Islam, the articles of faith? And we would realize that God's purpose of these basic articles of faith is to really assess each one of us as to what we do between two prayers as mandated. Children, another important observation I would like to make here is that our Creator likes sajda, that is prostration, as an expression of thanks to Him. Incidentally, we need also to realize that sajda, that is prostration, is the only position where the heart remains above the brain. Let us also refresh our memory regarding kun fayakun, which means when God decrees a matter, He only says to it, be, and it is done. But really, it is indicative of the divine power of creation. And God also says that He has instilled His Spirit in each one of us. So therefore, we are bound by this duty that we should try our best to imbibe some part of the quality of God in each one of us, including the power of creation. When Moses, Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, had prayed to God for providing water because his people were thirsty. So, if God would have wished, He would have immediately created water, but He did not do that. Instead, He asked Musa alayhi salam that you have a rod in your hand, आपके हाथ में लाठी है, hit it on the rock, उसको चट्टान पे मारिए. When Musa did that, then 12 springs came out, and all the 12 tribes took water to the fill. What was the message to the humanity? The message to the humanity was that before praying to me, do whatever is within your means. And that makes me happier to accept your prayer. That's what God has given the message to the humanity. Another article of faith which I need to remind myself of is that I love my country. Keeping that in mind, I need to know in detail and continuously remind myself about the provisions of the Constitution of India. So I would very strongly advise, and I have done it myself, please download an app regarding the Constitution of India and keep on referring to it every now and then. Girls and boys, to fuse means to join or become combined. From that we derive the noun fusion. So let us refer back to the first slide that I had shown you today. On the left side, on top, is the photo of the Taj Mahal. On the right side of the top, we have the photo of the South Block. One indicates spirituality and the other indicates state power. Children, we have to create a fusion between the two. Thus, create a mosaic. All of us recite these lines in our daily prayers. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Here God reminds us of the fast-moving time. And He says that each one of you is in loss, except those persons who believe in the divinity and unity of Allah. And immediately after that He says, and except those people who do good deeds in the world. Now, what is your good deed at this moment? To realize your station in life and to make full utilization of what all God has blessed you with. That is to say, devote wholeheartedly yourself in understanding the realities and taking a cue from there. Make the best of yourself and prepare yourself very well for the future, not only for yourself and your family, but for the society, for the Ummah also. Let me also take you to Article 16 of the Constitution of India, which says that there shall be equality of opportunity for all citizens in matters relating to employment or appointment to any office under the state. The state here means all the wings of the governance in India at different levels. So, keeping such a richly dynamic background in mind, let us realize that fate can be changed. तकदीर बदली जा सकती है, भाग बदला जा सकता है. Children, destiny is for losers. It is just a stupid excuse to wait for things to happen instead of making them happen. My friend Sardar Amarjit Singh Sahab has been sending to me every morning one good saying. So one of these which I wish to quote here is, sea is same for all. Some take pearls from the sea, some take fish, and some come out just with wet legs. Life is common for all. We get what we try for. لَيْسَ الْإِنسَانَ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. That is why Allama has said, Tu agar digar shavi, u digarast. If you decide to change yourself, that becomes your fate. But the basic requirement for that is perseverance, nirantar prayatn, zamini tagoda. So, girls and boys, plunge in the sea, battle with the waves. Success is won in strife. Look at this. Why I am showing you the telescope? We are in the year of grace 2024 now. Let me not confine my attention to 2024. Let me visualize and think of at least 21-24, 100 years from now. 22-24, 200 years. 23-24, 300 years. Then also will be India. Then also will be the world. Then also will be the society. Then also will be our Ummah. What kind of people you want at that time depends upon what decision we take for each one of us individually today in this hall. Children, God also talks of the concept of the Quranic concept of the sound heart. Qalb Salim is mentioned by name. يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. On the day of judgment, your wealth or family will not be of help. Yes, what can help you is that you come with a sound heart. So what is sound heart? That too I tried to understand with the help of a Lama. I am reminded of one of his Persian couplets, which I am translating for you. O Lord, you give me a heart of crude copper. With my love for your preacher, utilizing the resourcefulness which you have blessed me with for purposes of making the life of my fellow human beings more comfortable, I am trying to convert it into a golden heart, so that when I meet you tomorrow on the day of judgment, I can present it to you as a gift. That is sound heart, Qalb Salim. So, girls and boys, you must choose to be the future of India. Each one of the 800 plus districts belong to you. चाहे तो बदल डाले हैयत चमनिस्तान की, ये हस्ती बीना है, दाना है, तवाना है. If you so wish, you can alter the parameters of the world. Each one of you is blessed with correct perception, unfailing intelligence, and long-lasting energy. We have been warned by our Creator. Inna Allah la yughayyiru ma bi qawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. For doing that, here is a piece of an advice. Let us empower ourselves. आइए हम अपने को बाख्तियार बनाएं, अपने को समर्थ, सक्षम व सशक्त बनाएं. किस तरह? Intelligent, well-planned, systematic, benevolent, strong, continuous effort. माकूल, मंसूबाबंद, मुनज़्ज़म, नेक निहाद, मुस्तहकम, मुतवातिर कोशिश. बुद्धिमान, योजनाबद्ध, सुव्यवस्थित, सद्भावपूर्ण, शक्तिमान, निरंतर प्रयत्न. You are the leaders and rulers of tomorrow, so prepare well today. For that purpose, what is the need of the hour? Boys and girls, changing of the form or nature of a person or thing into a different one, known as metamorphosis. So we will have to undergo this metamorphosis. काया पलट करना है अपने अंदर से. What is the reason why Muslims are lagging behind? The reason given by the Prime Minister's High-Level Committee, also known as Justice Rajendra Sachar Committee, is that we are thoroughly underrepresented in the governance of India. Yes, some members of the community have been trying to uplift itself. Sure. But suppose that total effort in every way can be quantified as X of the whole nation. But the resourcefulness of the government which is reserved by the community is at least 10,000 times of X. So, Allama has warned us that the future will ask each one of us, न था अगर तू शरीक महफिल, कसूर तेरा है या कि मेरा, मेरा तरीक़ा नहीं कि रख लूँ किसी खातिर मैं शबाना. Says time to the inactive person. If you did not attend the feast, the fault is yours or mine. It's not my custom to hold back the nocturnal wine for anybody. So, the responsibility lies on our shoulders. We must rise to the occasion. As I already mentioned to you, Allah Ta'ala says that He has breathed in each one of us His Spirit. So that multiples up our sense of responsibility to continuously try to imbibe some of His qualities to some extent or the other, including His quality, His power of creation. This girl always wears hijab even today. In hijab only, she appeared before UPSC Civil Services for interview, and that year the UPSC awarded to her highest marks in interview in whole of India. So take the lesson from there. There is no scope for any complaint. The only thing that counts is hard work and merit. Say to yourself, if she can do, why not me? Children, it's important to realize that in recent years there has been a shift in the government policy. Till about 7-8 years ago, say till about 2017 or so, the annual induction into civil services through UPSC had gone up to 1,250. But year before last, it had come down to 650. So there is a general trend of the numbers coming down. Add to that the recent phenomenon of lateral entry. The government making direct selection at higher level of service. So what is the lesson? Do aim for the moon, but try to land at least in the stars. Do prepare for the civil services, but also simultaneously appear for central police organizations, state service commissions, examinations. There are 29 or more states and union territories which conduct their own examinations. Then Staff Selection Commission of the central government, etc., etc. Large number of opportunities are there. And the total intake there is several hundreds of thousands every year. There are 800 plus collectorates in India, each one of having more than 100 persons working for the government. There are 283,000 local bodies in India. 2,83,000 local bodies हैं. Municipal corporations, municipal boards, zila panchayats, gram panchayats, panchayat samitis, and so on and so forth. Each one of them has people working for the local government. You can imagine what large number of people are working at different levels. Railways, oof. The Greek philosopher Hobbes had said, government is a leviathan. You go to any district court, you will find the judge sitting on higher table in the middle, and on both sides, 4 more persons are sitting on lower tables helping the judge. They are all government employees. So make it a habit of reading the employment news, the Rozgar Samachar. Each one of you can be selected in 3 or 4 government services, I can tell you. It's just for the taking. Go in for that. And then there are so many opportunities to keep on improving your station in life, academic as well as your workplace. Form yourselves into groups of 10 or 15 each or even less. Meet once a week. Discuss what you have read. Learn from each other. Exchange notes. Let one amongst you be the mentor of the group. Boys and girls, you can rule the nation and the world. दयार इश्क में अपना मुकाम पैदा कर, नया ज़माना नए सुबह शाम पैदा कर. To forge a niche in the domain of your love of Allah. Recalibrate and enrich your daily engagements and thus create a new era for yourself and for others. Yes, one more important piece of advice. Let us develop and cultivate good relations with people of different faiths. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين.